NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Let's go, 18 Gator.
53, Mike. I'm coming after you.
Throwing on first down. Eason. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Check three.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Watch the slant. 53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Switch up.
From the gun, Eason. Buying time to his left. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rounding, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. They run. It's Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Back to throw. Eason. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing again. Eason. He's got this one complete to Perriman.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. There's the stiff arm. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to...
The throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return will stop right around the 25. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Joey Bosa in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Browns' drive about to get started, and it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
22 is coming, 22 is coming.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Hard throw, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
22!
Stafford. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Kill. 53. Ready.
They'll run it here. This is James White. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Stafford now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
53. Delta.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now it's Haskins. This one taken in by the former Baylor Bear, Jalen Hurd. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Johnson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful, because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Throwing is Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Haskins will throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, exit. No. Ball. Quick dash. Go. 53, ready.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Browns drive about to get started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he loses the football a second time. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Chubb running right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Haskins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They run it again with Chubb. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Haskins. Flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Here's Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started.
Defense wins championships, baby. Max 22, Max 24. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Haskins. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Set, ready. Hey, hold on. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now it's Haskins. And he'll find Hall. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Chubb. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The first carry for Josh Adams. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Like 22, he's coming.
From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jannard Avery in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Like 22, he's coming. 22's coming.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Damon Harrison make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Haskins, he's got Njoku, his big tight end. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point.
And now here is another interception. picked off by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll run with White. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Mike 22, Mike 22.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. Open man is Hurd. It's complete. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the 1st down to go along with it. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up any.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns get a score closer. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before when you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay. It's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Throwing on 2nd down, Stafford. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Here we go.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Stafford, he gets this one to Johnson. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On the ground, this is Johnson. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
21. I'm coming for you, son. 59. Double up. Hey, give me your radar.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
Oh, man, that was some call right there. The game in the balance. They run for it on 4th down, and this has been the story all game long. They've been the ones that come up with the big plays when they've needed them. And that last one, that may have won them the football game.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Lions, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.